Too Hot for TV.
Welcome back to Doctor Who Too Hot for TV, the festive advent calendar. Today, I'm only joined by bloody Pete Lambert. Pete, how are you?
Hello, I'm sweltering, which is kind of weird for an advent. This must be what it's like being an Australian, talking about advent calendars when it's 30.
Don't spoil the magic.
It's 30 degrees. But it's Christmassy in an Antipodean way here.
Well, exactly. I mean, we're here in the heart of the summer. It's mid-August, but by the time people hear this, it'll be cold outside. There'll be chestnuts roasting on an open fire and all that jazz.
That jazz.
What I'd like to know before we jump into our little annual story, what part has or did or does the Doctor Who annual play in your life?
It was a stalwart, reliable Christmas present in my Christmas pillowcase that would be at the bottom of my bed that Santa would come and put various bits and pieces in, specifically with the purpose of making me get up and open them and just leave everyone else alone and not get up at 6 a.m. I just, years later, you put the pieces together and you're like, hey, you've given me all these things that are sort of quiet and time consuming, like annuals and books. And it's like, oh, okay, open these at 6 o'clock, then come and wake us up later. And I would generally I'd get the Doctor Who one and or the Star Wars one. So, and this was banging it. This is a Christmas 84, so I'm 11.
Amazing.
What you want.
So we're doing something from the Doctor Who Annual 1985, which came out in August 84, obviously, from World Distributors, and we're doing a story called The Time Savers. Now, I'm going to put you on the spot here. What's The Time Savers about?
What is about saving time? Time is going to be destroyed as we know it.
Which never happens in Doctor Who.
No. I mean, it's a bit... there's a twist. I didn't see the twist coming, but then it was so kind of perfunctory. Yeah.
In many ways, there are lots of twists in this story. So the Doctor's called up by the Time Lords because something's going on with time, but the Time Lords don't know what it is, but it's happening on Earth. So they go to Earth, where they really don't know where the time disturbance is, but they do meet a man drinking methylated spirits.
As you do. And Merry Christmas, everybody. Yeah. And this is coming after this. Colin's on the front of this annual. This is why we got Twin Dilemma, basically, because JNT had that thing about not wanting to be stuck with the Doctor having just regenerated, and then there's 9 months with no Doctor Who on TV, including Christmas. And that's why the merchandising was all a bit fucked when Davison took over by that. So he pulls forward the Doctor's debut story to be the end of a season, just so that the new Doctor can be established and loved by everyone before the long break before Christmas, and then he spends it strangling Perry. So this annual for me was a real. I decided I hated him, but I got the annual and I was like, oh, okay. And this made me start to like the Sixth Doctor. These stories, including this one where he's just being really doctorish and a little bit eccentric, but not a bastard. The Time Lords say, "Where's Perry?" And he's like, "Oh, she's just having a sleep."
Knocked her out.
Yeah, I twatted her. She was annoying. But in this, and she's well drawn, isn't she? She's illustrated.
Yeah.
He's not bad
compared to some of the 70s annuals in particular, where the likenesses are terrible. I think throughout this annual, actually, it's the Sixth Doctor and Perry.
And Perry's in a nice white shirt, blouse, with collar. Is that a Planet of Fire? I think there was pictures of a look dressed like that in Planet of Fire as well. They must have taken it from, and they're in Cambridge, aren't they? Then they get
1996.
Oh, of course, the future. It is a specific date, which I looked up, and in September, nothing happened on that particular. Wouldn't it have been mad if it were like September the 11th, 2001? Like they could have just spun the spinner.
So this is Colin's first full season, really. This annual, forget about forget about Attack of the Cybermen. This is where it all started. You've got sort of 10 adventures here. So they go to Earth. Doctor Who's first use of and last use of a man who drinks meths, which is just very. I know we get Pig Bin Josh and hobos and things like that, but this is a bit too on the nose. And the Doctor gives him a tenner.
Yeah, get yourself to treat yourself to some lighter fuel. I mean, it was. Yeah.
And so they're chasing these ghosts around. In
this research, they break into the research institute, don't they? Yeah, and then
they see the ghosts first, I think, and then they're like, "Well, I really don't know what to do. There's just ghosts."
Oh, yeah.
And they go to break into a research bureau, but the security find them and just sort of go, "You come with me, you two."
Yeah, we're taking you into this place so that we can explain what's happening to you very quickly because it's a fairly short story. It's all text stories in this annual. There's no cartoons. Yeah.
There's only quite a few of the annuals are quite comic strip free, which you'd think. I mean, maybe they're more expensive to produce, but easier to write.
Yeah.
That's not me belittling the art of comic writing, just the style of storytelling in these sorts of annuals. So we meet this professor who's been messing with time and who is secretly behind it, but...
Professor Masterman!
Who could he possibly be?
Who does not appear in the illustrations for copyright reasons, I assume. We're not giving
Anthony Ainley wanted... Yeah, he wanted too much money.
No. So this is, canonically, the Sixth Doctor's first meeting of the Master.
Yeah. Who the Doctor hadn't previously left to burn to death on the planet of fire, but had in fact...
We don't address that.
Yeah, we don't address that. But had stolen something from his TARDIS so he couldn't travel through time.
Yeah, which I guess that's time flight, isn't it? I mean, I'm not as if I don't know.
They were very worried about continuity in this. If they were, they'd know the Doctor was still the president of Gallifrey.
When we did Tides of Time, and on that, Davison arrives on Gallifrey having just regenerated it, and they all think he's the president, and it's before the Five Doctors. I got flashbacks while reading this to my previous Two Hot for TV
Does nobody care about canonicity?
It's ridiculous. How does this even work?
Where the fuck was Ian Levine?
He was writing Attack of the Cybermen, literally.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah. Him and Paula. It's revealed to be the Master, and the ghosts appear, and they're men in brown overalls, who are basically Star Trek-y people from the future.
They are, aren't they? Very Star Trek-y, yeah.
Who are like, you will create time travel and be revered for about 300 years, and then it all goes wrong, and you destroy time. Gutted. And so they go, the only way to solve this is to destroy your machine. And he goes, fine. He goes, and they go, and you.
Yeah, just for good measure.
Yeah, and to which I think the professor's a bit gutted about, but he sort of resigns himself to that.
Well, yeah, he's like, it's a fair cop. It's kind of like, it seems I've destroyed humanity by accident. All right.
And then the Master fucks off into time, and then they destroy the machine, which makes them disappear because they're never there. So the professor's never actually killed. So they obviously didn't think their plan through enough to kill the professor first.
No, unless they just thought, well, we might shits and giggles. Let's just kill him, see what it's like, because we're not going to exist soon anyway, so it won't have happened.
Yeah. The end.
The end. Yeah, the Master's gone. So, like, what did the Doctor actually do?
Nothing. There is zero need for him to be there. The whole thing would have resolved without him. Andy's down a tenner and hasn't gone on holiday.
Yeah. And the Time Lords, with their amazingly, really helpful instructions. We're sending on a mission. What is it? Can't really say. Just go to this place. See if anything happens.
we know there's something wrong. Yeah. Sort it out. we don't know what it is, but we know it could destroy everything.
Time is involved.
It makes me think, like, we see this a lot in these annual stories, but, like, this is a lot better in terms of the characterization of the Doctor and Perry in this. It's very sort of basic, but a lot of the time it doesn't even feel like the Doctor and the Companion in a lot of the rooms. But this time round, I get that it feels like the Sixth Doctor and that feels like Perry.
Yeah, and they've even got sort of a little bit of the sort of banter that is sometimes spoken about being what they were supposed to have, like later. That it's just weird that someone sat down and watched 4 episodes of Twin Dilemma and then managed to sit down and write the Doctor and Perry sort of quite liking each other and teasing each other a bit, which was I guess maybe that was actually what was written down on paper somewhere. They like each other, but they tease each other, but we end up with brutality and hatred.
Do you think they might not have seen the Twin Dilemma?
That is also... Well, but then how do they get everything else so right? That's the thing. Yeah, it's definitely Perry, not Tegan. It's definitely the Sixth Doctor, not the Fifth. He is cheeky, he's... Yeah. So, it's really... Yeah.
I can imagine those characters saying those words, and sure, it's not the most sparkling dialogue they're ever going to get, but the characters are right. But it makes me think, okay, so you bothered to get the characters right in this one. Why not get the story? Because there is it's a very perfunctory plot, but you could get a decent story out of this. You don't need all the stuff with the Time Lords at the beginning. You don't need the tramp. You don't need them sitting on a bench for 3 hours while the Doctor goes, oh, what's going on? And Perry goes, what are we going to do? And the Doctor goes, I'm thinking. But if you cut straight to it and go, there's a haunting, and we don't know what it is, and actually it's experiments with time, sure, we've seen it before, but it works.
Yeah, I wonder, I think this could be a title before the story. I think somebody thought, this is a time-saving device, time savers. That's a good idea for a story. How can they save time? Because there's no explanation of what they're talking about. Time has been destroyed. Do they just mean the history's been changed? That's not how you say that.
Yeah.
It's one of those things
or is it the concept of time has just gone out the window because people have been fucking with it too much?
Which would be really interesting. But again, you're not going to bother with that in an annual.
No. What about the Master? How do we find his little cameo? Because it was a plot twist, right? You weren't expecting it.
Yeah, it comes out of nowhere. It's not even I mean, and you're told it's the Master, and then you're told he's been here under the name of Professor Masterman. I didn't miss anything, did I?
No, he's not trying anymore.
It's not even. He's like, I am the Master, but you can call me Professor Masterman. Like, that's not how cryptic aliases work, right? But it's even with his handful of lines of dialogue, it's Ansley Ainley. It
is. Although I suppose copyright reasons, as we said, but part of me is a little bit like it could do with a picture of the Master, but then it keeps the surprise.
That's what it is, isn't it? It's a spoiler. Yeah.
The rest of the annual, obviously, I'm not expecting you to have read it, but you own it, right?
I do. I've still got my copy here from my $2.99 Christmas present.
Do you have fond memories of flipping through it?
Not a lot. I think I may have sort of flipped through and gone, there's nobody cartoons. I don't think I read all of the stories, to be honest. There's quite a lot of stories. There's some nice pictures. There's some nice model work features, a special effects thing.
Yeah.
How K9 works. There's these two amazing pictures of the set of Black Orchid, which I was saying, it would be incredible if this was if Black Orchid was like the massacre and there were no telesnaps and there were no footage existed of it, and there was just a picture of a staircase with Sarah Sutton standing with her back to us looking at the floor, and a picture of a drawing room with the focus entirely on the chairs, and like Lady Cranley's sat with her back to us in a corner. And if those two pictures were the only thing that existed of Black Orchid, it would be the most amazing loose cannon reconstruction ever, and I just want that to exist.
We can make that happen.
Let's make magic. Oh, there's also the naked Merca shots.
Yeah.
You've got the guy being put in the Merca, or maybe he's being let out of it. You can't
that's exciting stuff.
Because this is the season 21 annual, isn't it? It's just there's no Davison content. Of course, he's history.
Yeah.
What's he ever going to do with Doctor Who again? Colin is the future.
But when I used to get these things as a kid, I really didn't care for the stories because they didn't feel much like Doctor Who, and I couldn't be bothered to read them. And I was too busy reading the novelization of Doctor Who and the Auton invasion or something like that. But it was the 80s ones that had the photos in that I was a little bit more drawn to, because like there would be, like there is here, the model of the sea base under construction for Warriors of the Deep, or the models from Warriors Gate. Any of the Warrior stories, they've got them covered. That was the exciting stuff.
Yeah, and because this, I mean, like I guess most people who get this, like me, were getting it for Christmas, and that's 2 weeks before Attack of the Cybermen Part 1. So that Christmas is just before season 22 is going to launch. So you're really getting hyped for it, and that's why, of course, although this is the annual that came out after season 21, there is no fucking Mark Strickson content here. There is no Janet Fielding. There is, and there's definitely no Peter Davison. Does not get a look in even the show. Maybe that's why. I mean, it is the thing about the Black Orchid pictures. It's specifically an article about set design, but they've gone to great lengths to not include any pictures of departed cast members.
You can see JNT's red pen going through all the pictures and going, no Peter Davison. So we have this picture of Colin on the front, presumably taken from perhaps the photo shoot for his face for the title sequence. I don't know. And then it proudly has a strap on the front of it that says 21st year anniversary issue. So it's a big celebration of the 21st year of Doctor Who. Something that you don't celebrate. Like, we celebrate 21 years of, like, people for some reason. But, 21 years of Doctor Who is not that exciting.
No. Legally old enough to commit sodomy in 1985. But that's really all it comes down to.
And in many ways, we were all sodomized by these annuals.
But although it is a bit of a bummer that the back cover is just the front cover. That's lazy. Having the same picture on the front and the back. Colin, bless him, smiling away. Nice picture.
Absolutely takes the piss.
Why would you put the same picture on the front and back cover?
Colin's smiling a lot in this annual, actually. Like, a lot of the pictures of him, he's got a bit of a grin on him. I think they've only been given publicity photos, not seen Twin Dilemma and gone, well, he is the smiley Doctor Who.
Yeah, he's wearing his big, colourful coat. He's obviously a jolly man.
Yes, little did they know. Little did they know. Anything else you want to say on the Time Savers or the annual it's contained in?
Yeah, well, one of the picture I like most in the annual is it's the same at the front and back again. So but it's with the inner, what do you call it? The inner cover, where you're the title frontispiece or whatever, where you open it up and it's just the TARDIS. It's all of a blue hue. The TARDIS has landed a little way away. The Doctor's come out of it. There's yellow light coming out of the TARDIS door, and there's a lizard looking at the Doctor in the foreground. And it's just really nice alien. I mean, it doesn't really look all that alien, I suppose, but apart from the lizard. But
it's a giant lizard. What's more alien than that?
Well, I thought it's a normal size lizard, and we're just seeing it from its point of view.
Oh, who knows?
No, it could be giant. No, it could be giant. Yeah, but that's just a really nice picture. So yeah,
it is.
I underappreciated this when I was 11. It's actually pretty good stuff.
And now you see it for the work of art it truly is.
But sometimes that's what it takes.
There we go. Another dip into the Doctor Who Christmas stocking festive advent calendar of annuals. Until next time, I've been Dylan.
I've been Pete.
And this has been Doctor Who Too Hot for TV, the festive edition.
Merry Christmas.
Doctor Who, too hot for TV.
Incidentally, a happy Christmas to all of you at home.